that's why he indicated that it's not just but on manufacturers. A lot of them are very nervous about this, as I am in a general sense. But I do like the fact that there's been some movement from what was first proposed a week ago.
All right, so Congressman, the president also met with video game makers yesterday, part of trying to sort out this very complex issue of stopping school shootings. All of our objectives is one, giving law enforcement the ability to move quicker where somebody looks at a mental illness or a danger. When you talk about putting money aside to train teachers and to have armed security, where do you stand on Florida's probably going to sign into law today?
Well, I like the idea of allowing the teachers who have training to be able to carry a firearm to protect themselves. I think that should be a little more decision, but I'm all for that. The old cliche is accurate. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is to have a good guy with a gun. And you look at that situation, that terrible situation that took place in Florida. Coach MBytes, I believe, who gave his life for his students and his student athletes, if he would have been armed and trained, I believe he would have engaged the shooter and shoot out of metal the coach. So I agree with the president and talking about that, pushing that, and that part of the Florida law. I'm very nervous about other things that have been proposed because I do think they infringe on due process rights for law-abiding people and could potentially limit their Second Amendment liberties, and I just have a real problem with that. The Second Amendment is there for a particular reason. We have to be very, very careful about not taking away those fundamental rights.
Right, but when people of Ohio, and we're national, but I'm at 90 WHIO studios right now, and I know this station means a lot to you as well, and the people that listen. What should they know that makes their school safer today after they saw the horror in Broward County?
Well, in Ohio, school boards, some schools have already done it. I think there are 40 some schools, maybe more. Some school boards in Ohio said we are going to allow teachers to be armed, and we're going to take down these signs that say, gun-free zone. I always say bad guys aren't stupid; they're just bad. And there's probably a reason so many of these terrible, evil things have happened at places where they have signs posted that this is a gun-free zone. So if the bad guy now has to think, oh, this school may in fact have teachers with a concealed firearm there to protect themselves and their students and the people in that school system, then that I think is the best thing we can do, and why I so support the president when he's talking about allowing local boards to do just that thing.
Here's the announcement yesterday. Again, every day I talk to you, there's a new or huge story. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. This is certainly interesting. North Korea's leader and the President of the United States are going to meet in May. Here's how it sounded. Cut one.
And he expressed his eagerness to meet President Trump as soon as possible. President Trump appreciated the briefing and said he would meet Kim Jong-un by May to achieve permanent denuclearization.
He's the South Korean National Security Advisor standing in front of the Oval Office making the announcement with no American around. How do you feel about this?
Well, look, when you stand up for American principles and you do it in a tough way and in I think a way that demonstrates strength, like Reagan did and like President Trump has done, I think suddenly the bad guys around the world start to look at things a little different, and maybe they have one of those sort of moments where they see the light. And it seems to me that maybe what's happening here, suddenly they're willing to talk, and the president indicated I think he's open to that. So I think this is because of the tough and position of strength that this president has demonstrated, not just with North Korea, but in foreign policy. And there's a reason that there's a reason that the embassy is now going to Jerusalem. There's a reason that when the president took decisive action when Assad did the terrible things with chemical weapons on civilians in Syria, that there was a quick response from this administration. I think it's a whole different approach than the red line, step back and new red line, they'll step back another red line that was called the previous administration, and that is big and and I think it's why you now see North Korea saying some of the things that they're saying.
All right, let's pivot to some news that broke over the last few days. Number one, they talk about some a meeting that took place in these islands off the coast of India with Eric Prince meeting with Russians. Now, Eric Prince spoke out last night and goes, there was no conspiracy in back channel. He was President of the United States. He didn't even commission me to do anything. And number two is they have the story of the president is talking to people after they go to the Mueller investigation. All he did was ask Reince Priebus, how did they treat you? What is going on with this probe and this hysterical reporting?
Yeah, I mean, we can't forget the fundamentals. To date, not one bit of evidence of any type of coordination between President Trump's campaign and Russians to influence the election. But we know for certain, just as sure as you and I are talking right now, we know for certain that the Clinton campaign, the DNC, paid the law firm, who paid Fusion, who paid Christopher Steele, the author of the dossier, and we know the dossier was taken to the FISA court to get a warrant to spy on Carter Page, who was associated with the Trump campaign. So we know that the Clinton campaign tried to influence the election by working with Russians through Christopher Steele, and this dossier was taken to the court, and you know what? They didn't tell the court the whole truth when they took the dossier to the court to get the warrant. We know that for a fact. So this is just more of the same old stuff we get from the left and from Democrats and from the mainstream press.
Congressman Jordan, you also are behind Trey Gowdy's push for a second counsel, correct?
Yeah. We called for it months ago. We're glad to see the Chairman Gowdy and Chairman Goodnight called for it this past week.
Well, here's the problem. Sessions has recused himself from everything related to Russia, so that's a problem. Rosenstein is one of the people that okayed the dossier, the continued surveillance of Carter Page. He's going to be part of the investigation. So who the heck appoints a special counsel?
I think it's going to be the Attorney General. What I think clear is pick someone else at the swamp. Don't do it like Mueller did, where he picked a bunch of lawyers who had all kinds of ties to the swamp and all kinds of ties, frankly, to Clinton and Obama. Pick the example I always use is pick a retired federal judge, some prosecutor from the middle of the country, from Oklahoma, from Iowa. Pick someone out there. Let that person, he or she, put together a team, and that's the only way you can get some kind of closure when they do the investigation and reach their conclusion. I think that the American people might accept. But if it's Mueller who expands it, no one's going to buy that. If it's Rosenstein and Sessions and the current Department of Justice doing it, people are going to have concerns with that. I see no other remedy because I don't think the FBI can investigate themselves.
Well, you know what? It's always great to be in Ohio, even though you're in Ohio, where we were apart. But thanks so much, Congressman Jordan. I appreciate you coming on, and so does everyone at WHIO.
Good care.
All right, when we come back, another great senator making a major impact, Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma. He's here next.
With news and commentary next. I was just reading the obituaries, and you know Bob? Yeah, his lawnmower died.
Should we send flowers?
No, Karen, it's a lawnmower. You should send mechanic in a box. This spring, if your lawn equipment is carburetor or worse, pay someone else to do it. Mechanic in a bottle will clean the fuel system and have your lawn equipment running within minutes. Available at the Home Depot, Tractor Supply, and Walmart, or visit mechanicinabottle.com. Trusted by engine and equipment manufacturers everywhere. Star Spangled Banner has been banned from pep rallies at California High School in the town of San Ramon.
The rally started and it got going, and I realized there was no national anthem. The importance of singing the national anthem to honor and respect those that have died and sacrificed their lives to protect the freedoms that us Americans take for granted every day is much more important and unifying issue.
That's Dennis Fiorentinos, a senior at the school, among many who are angry at the decision.
How can you start any event without having the national anthem?
They have to do the national anthem. This is a respect for the country.
The student body president said the song is racially insensitive, citing a little-known third that references a hireling and a slave. So for the sake of inclusivity, they decided to ban the entire song. The Star Spangled Banner may have survived the bombs bursting in air, ladies and gentlemen, but it may not be able to withstand the rampaging mob of politically correct inclusivists. I'm Todd Struck from the 24/7 KXL Newsroom. I'm Dave King. Police have been searching for a gunman overnight in Portland.
Portland's North Tabor neighborhood. Officers found a man with gunshot wounds near Northeast 66 in Flanders just before 9 last night. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. There is no information about the identity of the suspect, but police say the public is not in danger. An officer-involved shooting east of Salem. Officers tried to stop Zachary Peavy on a warrant Thursday afternoon, but the 40-year-old fled. Cops eventually caught up to Peavy in someone's driveway on State Street, but he failed to comply with their demands. He backed his truck into an officer's squad car. That officer, Jesse Rios, opened fire, hitting Peavy.
When you have an officer in danger and they have to fire their firearm, it's a very scary situation for all of us.
Officer Rios has been placed on paid leave, which is standard procedure. 970 weather, partly cloudy and dry today with highs in the mid-50s.